So, Bianna, if you'd share with us some memories of the Far East coming to your school as when you were teaching there.
Yeah. Well, Joe and myself, my husband Joe and myself taught together for many years, and we started in Kilmovee in 1971. The master there, Mr. Lafferty, would have been promoting the Far East, but because the school was amalgamated, there would be a much bigger number. So we would be getting 40 or 50 Far East every month to distribute around the area. Now, some of those people would be getting them for years and look forward to reading them, and because they didn't have television or radio, and it gave them a glimpse of the wider world and what was happening, and especially about the Columban fathers who were in different countries spreading the good news. We had a special interest, of course, in the Far East and in the Columbans, because Joe had three brothers, Father Paddy, Father Johnny, and Father Malachi Smyth in the Columban Fathers. So we enjoyed the promoting the Far East, and we enjoyed reading it, and indeed the children loved it, even as what I have in my hand here, but the Pudsey Rhyme, and I often gave it to them as an exercise to write it out correctly, and it was always so funny that they got great fun out of it. I remember Father Jack Dennehy coming to visit to promote it, and it was lovely to have somebody like that coming into the school rather than an inspector, and he was well able to deal with the children and make jokes with them, but at the same time promote the Far East and the importance of it. I think even the people who bought the Far East in a country area like Kilmovee were also hoping to help the Columban Fathers and the missions. It was like a twofold thing. They enjoyed reading the magazine, but they also enjoyed giving, the little they had giving, and I suppose it was a lot to them maybe at the time. A great memory I have is going to Dalgan Park for a weekend. Teachers, promoters of the Far East were invited. I think Father Malachi Smyth was the man who organised that weekend. And we had Mrs. Turnbull from Foxford, who was a passionate promoter of the Far East, with us. She travelled in the car with us up to Dalgan, and we met some lovely people, and it was like treating us because we were doing this work with the Far East and selling it. It was like a lovely treat, and it certainly stayed in my memory. I think Dalgan Park and the college and the gardens are very special, and to me that weekend was something I would never forget. The people who talked to us, walking in the gardens, and the Columban Fathers. They were very skilled listeners, and if you had any little problems, they would listen to it, But getting back to the Far East, like we realised how much was being done, and how much we were learning about the work the priests were doing in China and Korea and the Philippines. Like there's always some very light articles in the Far East. It's not all heavy reading. Like it's some lovely, interesting articles. And the children, there was always the piece for the children and the colouring competitions. And then there was a little section with where First Communion photos were put in. And so all in all, I have some lovely, lovely memories. As a child, I went to Kilmovee School, and I would have distributed the Far East as a child. And then as a teacher, I would have promoted it more and enjoyed doing it. And it's marvellous to think that it's still much the same format as it was. And copy I have in my hand here, on the cover we have Mary McAleese out in Korea, and Mother Malachi, I think, met her at that time, and she had a wonderful time, and I think she was very impressed. And of course, Father Malachi did the Korean version of the Far East, that was great to have a version of it in the Korean language. So all in all, I have very happy memories, and I hope we did some good by promoting it. And
as we come up to the centenary of the magazine, it's something to be celebrated as we celebrate the
celebrate it
100
now.
years now.
Yes, the 100 years, and it's great to be alive. I'm 81, 82 this year, so it's great to have all those memories and to be alive to see them celebrating 100 years of